performance testing, and I'm from Uplatz. So before going to the course, I have a very small question. Like, have you ever guys like about any kind of testing concept? So if not, don't need to worry. I'll explain. I'll go through each and every concept from basic to advanced. So this course will help you from a ground level to an intermediate level. So definitely you will have some kind of experience, and I'll put all my real world experience in this course. And even I will explain the day to day challenges what you have and face during your performance testing. And even what I'll just try to focus even on the areas like some basic areas on functional testings, so that you have an idea between functional testing and non-functional testing. So I think you guys are pretty excited about this course, and I make sure you are not disappointed with this course. And even if you face any kind of challenge or difficulties, surely you can come to Uplatz, and definitely we can provide some assistance to you. So let's start our course. By the heading, you might have already known, like this is the course for performance testing. And in this, we will focus some of the major tools like load runner, JMeter, and some performance testing concepts and everything. Like, so you don't have to worry. Even if you are from the ground level, definitely you'll learn. So let's start our course then. Okay, so you might be knowing software testing plays a vital role in our day-to-day life. Normally, an application, because without undergoing this software testing activity, application won't be deployed into the production. So, by coming to the point, software testing plays a vital role in any application world. And why do we do testing? Because we perform testing to make sure our application is stable or works or it works fine throughout, and we don't want to make our end customers like dissatisfied or because if your end customers are not satisfied with whatever application they are using, it may hamper your business, because definitely for the next time the user is disappointed and he'll never come to the application. So we always make sure our functionality of the application is totally working fine, and they don't have any abrupt or any UI glitch on the application. They have a smooth experience while performing any activity in the application. So that's the reason testing plays a major role in the day-to-day life, like during the PTLC, SDLC, STLC life cycle. Everywhere this testing is needed. And coming to this, you don't have to worry like whether you are a developer or a tester. You have to put your 100% wherever you are working. Just try to learn and grab all your experience and understanding to this concept. Okay, like you all know that if our application is not stable, definitely I'm an end user. I don't want to log into the application and perform some activity. Definitely, suppose there is an example I want to relate with you guys. Like let's take, you have many retail application. Like for if you want to buy a cloth, and you have n number of application. So in the market, I'll tell you some of the highest and the biggest companies, retail application companies like Flipkart, Amazon, Mintra, Jabong, like this all kind of things. This platform, they sell their product online. So as you have already known, this world is going to be digitalized, and in near future everything will be sold online or purchased online. So definitely we are moving into a digital world. So we make sure like even our application is not having a buggy code or some kind of thing. So I'll explain each and every components of this functional testing also, like basics. I'll not go in depth, but I'll make sure you'll understand this functional testing. So you guys, you might see like we perform different type of testing in application. Example, functional testing, automation testing, non-functional testing, and many more. Let us have some basic idea about above mentioned testing types. Okay, so let's see what is functional testing. Okay, by you want what is functional testing? If you see, functional testing is nothing but ensuring your application is functionally stable, or you want to validate the software system against the functionality. So make sure, as a tester, I'll make sure all the components are functionally stable and not breaking down. We even try to validate the functionality of the application. Functional testers do not involve in any of the code. They perform black box testing. Black box testing is a concept where you guys like you don't interact with the code. You don't know what the code is running for that functionality, or what's the code is, or what's the resource is being utilized. So you want to make sure your core functionality works fine, and it should provide you a whatever expected result with an actual result. So you, as a functional tester, i always I'll always make sure my components are giving accurate result or exact result. So I'll just try to explain in a better way, so that I'll with an example, so that you guys will understand very like you guys will understand every concept. Okay, let's start. I'll give an example. Suppose I want to go here, and I want to launch an URL, flipkart.com. Okay, you see, like this is the UI of the application. Like this is the Flipkart application an end user is using. Or even as I have already told, there is a competitor of Amazon.com. Let us see what is the difference in these two things. Like you or what you observe different in these two. You can see the brand is different, or logo. These two logos are different, and even the UI is different. UI is nothing but user interface, like the look and feel of the application. If you scroll, there there are a lot of n number of registers. User might be there, or n number of seller is also available in this application. They tie up with us. Similarly, Amazon also provide the same platform, but the business both are have a different business owner. Okay, so you can find some of the core functionalities, login. This UI is also different. And here, if you see, you have signing, like they have a different UI, look and feel. So here they got a inbuilt pop-up, and here there is a different screen, different page for signing or login. Let's just consider like why do you need functional testing? Like the purpose of the functional test, the purpose of the functional test is to test each component. Okay, so I already told you that as a functional tester, I'll make sure each and every component of the application is functionally stable. Okay, so and what do you want to make sure? Like here, I have already mentioned as a manual tester, you want to make sure your expected result and actual results meet. So I have already mentioned like suppose this is the UI and you say like what is your expectation? Like there is some kind of positive and negative scenario you will test. Positive scenario and negative scenario. Fourth, you will have some kind of test case. You will develop test case for the application or business scenarios. Okay. Your main agenda is to focus on stableness of the application rather the speed of the application. So as a functional tester, your main agenda is to focus on the stableness. Like and even you ensure your UI or user interface is not breaking out. Okay. Like suppose there is any kind of glitch, you find that the login itself it is coming here and you see some bad kind of UI and your UI is breaking, then the look and feel of the application even it will not give a good positive response for an end user and he will feel like what's this application. I don't want to use this application because there is having lot of UI glitches. As a functional tester, you will test all. There is like n number of type of testing you do. Like it starts from a smoke testing, regression testing. You perform different type of testing. First is smoke testing. Second is regression testing. Third is API testing. Fourth is okay. So there are n number of things you will make sure like so basic things is like you will focus on this all things and make sure whenever you are performing any kind of testing you don't get any kind of error. Suppose I'll give you a scenario. Let's example like let's take out a paint. Okay, let's take a scenario. Let's design a scenario for the application. Okay. First, launch the business URL. Second, log in to the application. Third, you want to search some products. Fourth, add the products to the cart. Fifth, add slash date address. Sixth, add slash date credit or debit card details. Seven, go to go to payment page, buy the product. Check the order ID is correct. Verify the order status or track the order. Okay, so let's see. Like, this is the business scenario I have given here, and we will not try to replicate all the thing, but I'll make sure you understand this kind of scenario you have written. Like, you will be writing some of the test case, some of the there will be some flow, and in this flow you will try to write some of the test case for this thing. And in that, if your test case is met with your expected and expected, then you make your test case as pass, or else you should make the test case as fail. So here, like, I will like write this kind of procedure I will try to follow. Let's see. Self. So let's see. uh, this is the thing I wanted to focus. Okay, let me merge, and like I will write Flipkart application. Okay, I'm focusing on this. Okay, let's see. Like, I have an SN number, I have test case, I have expected result, I have actual result, and test case result. Test case. Okay, let's see, like, result. I will just write result. Okay, let's see. I have designed this thing. Suppose I want to take this URL. Okay, first I'll try to launch the URL. Okay, and what should my agenda? It should show like I'll write the steps. Uh, okay, here what I'll do, I'll just try to replicate. Here I'll write steps to reproduce. Okay. Let's see. Like normally, open the browser, launch the browser, then enter the URL. Okay. So once you so let's see. Like we are focusing this thing. Like for the first step, I want to make sure this is my steps to reproduce. Okay. Steps to reproduce. So you will navigate near the browser, then you'll launch the browser, then you'll enter the URL and you'll get some kind of result. And the user will receive some kind of user response. Okay, so you might get some kind of response. So as a tester, you make sure your expected result is matched with actual result. Okay, so let's see, like I have taken an example of Flipkart, and when I close this browser first, okay, so what I'll try to do, I'll launch this URL. When I click enter, so you are getting some kind of response, right? And you see that your Flipkart is opening. So this is a sniping tool. So I just wanted to take a screenshot because as a tester, you want to make sure that whatever your the page it is coming, you have a screenshot because you can, if in some emergency or some proof, a screenshot will always be there, and they will the screenshot will help you to determine or identify the issue, or it will help the people to see. So you can see like escape. Here I will do snapshot. So what I will do, I'll just try to figure the size. So I'll just copy here. Okay, and let's see. This image is so bigger. I just want to. Okay, you see that expected result. page launching. The actual result is also same, right? Our page is Flipkart. You could see that it is having, it is launching to flipkart.com. The logo is also same, and even you can inspect it. So inspect. Even when you inspect, so basically you go to the header and you see, let's just search Flipkart. There is flipkart.com. So Flipkart. So Flipkart, everything is related to Flipkart. So by that you can be ensured that you have exactly launched this application. So coming to this, like you got some idea about like for functional testing. So now I'll just try to replicate one of the business scenario. So you have run this, and as a tester, as a manual tester or functional tester, you need to focus on positive as well as negative test case. So let's take in scenario, like let us design. Okay. um, let's just see. I have this thing. Okay. So I see that you have a username. Okay. You have a username. You have a password, and you have a button, login, login. Okay. So what is the positive scenario and negative scenario? I'll try to discuss. So let's just see, you have a button in green color. Okay. And this is the functionality I wanted to test. Okay. So let's just see. I'll try to replicate positive versus real negative scenario. Positive versus negative scenario. Okay, what is the positive test case? Let's just find out. So when you log into the application, when you see that when you find that you have entered correct credential, you entered correct username, correct PWD. So once you ensure this thing is correct, what in background, what does it do? And as a functional tester, you are not interacted with the business code. So what it will do? So let's see. You find out that this is a browser. This everything comes in a browser or client you are performing. So what happens in background is like there is web sphere, web server, web server. Okay, I'll take this as a DV server. DV server. Okay. So normally it flows the request. Once the request is sent to the web server will process the request to the app server. App server is nothing but API or a business logic where the business is developed. API or business logic. Okay, API or business logic. Suppose you ensure there is some kind of DB call it is needed, some kind of like whenever you are performing, you are entering any user detail, the details will be stored in the database, and it needs to be matched with the database thing, like it will have a record in the database, and in the database suppose you entered your username as suppose xyz at the rate com, and your password is test 2. Okay, so what it will help when you enter the login, it will be processed to web server. In the web server, again, it will be called to app server and finding out the business logic, because in the app server, it will try to first of all validate all the things like whether